Rise and shine. Everybody, let's go. It's time to fast on the joy of truth. Nothing less. Day and night meditating on the truth. There's nothing more important. If you ain't doing this, what you doing? Lord knows. Only the Lord knows. If you tired, you better say something. If you're tired of getting up every day, doing the same old thing, if you're tired of being a slave, then you better say something. Let it be known. We should be proclaiming this good news. You got all this time to be laid up, doing Lord knows what, but you ain't not made time for the Lord. And you think Sunday service gonna cut it. Well, I'm here to tell you, it's not. That Sunday service don't make you sincere, nor do it make you a Christian, or whatever you call yourself. It's what you do on a daily basis. What are you doing on a daily basis? Who are you outside of your workplace? Who are you outside of these temples? That's what he's looking at. Did you not know that? Did you really need me to tell you that? Because I'm starting to realize that these people are programs. They're not even real. Let me explain. Because from their actions, there's no way that they're just these hypocrites. They'll say this, but do the other thing. They'll say they're holy while they're in these temples, these quote unquote holy temples. But then once they step out of it, they're no longer holy. They're no longer serving God. They now serve many gods. The Bible never lied. You know? Like, I'm here not even knowing that I'm versing verses, and then to find out that they are verses, to only verse them, to give glory to them, that the Bible never lied. Like, how are you serving many gods? How can you say that you don't serve many gods, but your actions show it? How can you not see? So that's what's my conclusion. You have to be fake. Something ain't right with you. It's not even that you're asleep. No, I don't even think you really exist right now. I think this is all an illusion. Like everything. Seriously, I'm onto something. And it's in the most humblest way, because there's no way. You know, you come up with these theories, right? And they just happen to be the truth. There's many theories, and it's just like, I'm going to believe the theory in me, because I've not been wrong. I have not been wrong. I have not been steered in the wrong direction. No, I'm here. You understand me? 31 years, I'm here. Out of all that I've been through, all that I was, all that they say that I am, or thought that I assumed that I was, I'm here. I am exactly where I'm supposed to be. I am exactly who I'm supposed to be. Shoot, do you know where I sit? I'm on the highest spiritual council. I am with my Father. I have been appointed, okay, an elder. Yeah, you ain't not no elder till you know an actual elder. See, y'all been thinking an elder was an old person. Hell to the no. Y'all thought an elder was someone with white, gray hair. Hell to the no. If anything, those older people with the gray and white hair, that's really insulting. Because truth be told, from the physical standpoint of things, you're looking like something. You're looking like you're wise out of, through the years. You're looking like you know something. Like you hold to something. But lo and behold, the truth be told, when you open through that door and you are faced with these people, they're witnessing to them, you find out they full of nothing. Some other person said they was full of manure. Well, that too. Hello? What you got white hair for? That's insulting. What you're old for then, if you don't know nothing? That's insulting. Please. I don't just speak for nothing. You ain't not no truth till you know that. You ain't not no raw, authentic truth till you know that. People be quick to be like, oh, you're so mean, you're so negative. You ain't not no mean till you know that. Because this ain't mean, baby. Trust me. This ain't mean. And I'm sure you'll be the same one to turn around and say, the wrath of God. When you'll be the same ones that when that time comes for him to show his wrath, because boy, he's been holding back. You're going to be the same ones that's going to call him mean. Please, shut up. Laid up, doing nothing, but got so much to say. Ain't been working. You ain't been doing nothing. That Sunday service ain't proved anything. Sunday or Monday. Or the weekend service. It ain't proved nothing to show your worthiness. What are you outside of those things? When no one's looking. Every other day. Exactly. And it's so bad that when you step outside of that quote unquote holy place, you still can't hide it. You're already blasting your destructive music. You can't even help it. So I know I ain't the issue, but I have taken that seat, haven't I? Yeah, I've become the sacrifice, that I'm the bad guy in this world. So be it. So be it. Because I still know who I am. I know the position. I know the cup that I'm drinking. I know the purpose. I know the will that I'm in. Now what? Now what? Oh, I'm the black sheep? Oh, I'm the bad guy? I know. I'm mean? Oh, I know. I'm negative? I'm sure. And what are you? What are you? Exactly. No worries. I don't need you to explain. I don't need you to say anything. As long as I have an understanding, as long as I know the truth, That's all that matters, as you can see. Because everything else is fake. Everything else is an illusion, deception. Everything else is darkness. I gotta stay awake. I gotta keep the faith. I gotta hold this light in me. I gotta make sure, even though they try to tamper with it, try to blow it out, right? Look what they did to my ancestors. Assassinate. Come on now. We gotta stay strong among these entities, these sentients. So many different names for it, but the same message. I already know. I am no longer heartbroken. I no longer am misunderstood. I understand everything. So I'm not surprised why you do the things you do, say the things you say, act the way you do. You've been doing this from the moment that we came to this world. We look like you. We can talk like you. We could talk even better. I talk. Listen, all I'm going to say is this. We're in this world together, but we are not all the same. And as the Bible speaks of our fruits to understand and to be able to decipher the difference, well, it's obvious. I look like you, talk like you, I'm in the same community as you. I'm a Black African American woman in the community. I act Black, don't I? But I'm still quite not like you. Yeah, you can't stereotype me and think you really know. No, but I've become accustomed to it, of course, and I'm proud of it. But you still know something different. Well, at least you know now, because I always did. God did. He's the one that put me here, among you. There's verses about us, written. Yeah, the book that you read on a Sunday service. That clearly you can't even edify. That clearly you've been reading before I was even existing in the flesh. That's still a mystery to you. And who is to be able to profess this mystery, the mystery itself? People like me. It's about us. Hello? Among you. That's what you don't understand. Duh. That's why you can't hold to it. That's why you're a hypocrite. You say this, but you're not. You say you claim to fit the shoe, but you don't. To me, it's common sense, but for some reason to you, since you're just weird, you'll say that you do, knowing you don't. When all you have to do is just tell the truth. Dang. All you had to do was tell the truth. But instead, as the prophecy foretells, they're going to lie to the death. They will lie all the way until death. Just like we'll die in the truth, they'll die in the lie. True, true. Say that again. Just like we'll die for the truth. They will die in their lives. They will die in their lives. I ain't never lie. Not about this. We can tell a little fib. But not when it comes to the root of who I am, the root of this world and why I'm in it, the root of God and Jesus. To say that he doesn't exist, that's a lie. To say that he never existed, that's a lie. We can tell a little fib. Oh, I didn't take that. I didn't eat your food. I didn't take that money. That's a little fib. But what you won't do is lie on the truth. The actual truth of the world, of the will of the world. How about that one? There's a will of the world and a world of that. You can't lie on that. You can't lie and say that God doesn't exist. That sort of truth. You can't lie and say that God doesn't have children. I exist. Come on now. You can't lie and say that we're not the image of him. when clearly we exist and we're in the image of a creator because he created us. Those are the truths you can't lie about. So instead of them lying about it, they just won't talk about it. Think they're clever. And then the people do whatever they want to do with it. Right? And so usually the people will end up choosing to not believe in it just because they've chosen to. Not because they were told to. No, they've not been taught on it. But no one said not to believe in it. You see, now that's a you thing. No one can make you believe in something. That's up to you. Now, what's more greater than this? Oh, laid up with Tony? Tony with Tony? Disgusting. Blasphemy. That's gross. Make my stomach turn. Thank God I wasn't eating. You would have thought I had acid reflux. Please. Y'all could have been out here hunting and gathering. You over here laid up. Using no strength. That's an insult to real men. That's an insult to a strong woman. You got all this strength, expected to be known as strength, and you're not using it. You got all these women out here thinking men are this superior when they laid up with Tony. Tony laid up with Carl. Carl laid up with Susan. What, in the orgy? But I'm too masculine because I'm using my strength. Because I'm actually working. Working. Choosing to use my time wisely. Use my time in the right places, in the right spaces. But I'm too masculine. But Tony laid up with Tony. But he's still considered the beacon of strength. Please! You have insulted the gods. And I'll speak on behalf of them. And you know it's the truth. You have really insulted a warrior. Thinking that a warrior was only meant for men. Thinking that a woman could never speak up in such ways. You have disgraced yourself. When deep down inside, everyone is capable of this strength to be a warrior for themselves, let alone their family. Shoot. If my man can't pick up these things, I will do it. So to be a warrior for your man too. To be a warrior for yourself. My goodness. Get a grip. Wake up. But I'm too masculine. I'm mean. I'm negative. What else? I become the black sheep. I'm the one alone. In isolation. Clearly for obvious reasons, to see that once I went in hiding, once the actual strength went in hiding, the actual light in the world went in hiding, to see how these people act, to see what they'll accept. They've allowed darkness in their houses to creep in next to their children. They've allowed darkness to dictate their choices. They've allowed dictators filled with evil intent to harm and abuse innocent children and women, take away their rights, try to make it seem like women are supposed to be quiet and just look pretty. This has been a tradition, this has been a custom, this has been in many mouths generationally, and I have to take the fault of it. Just as the same, I have to pick up those pieces and show you the truth. I have to show you how it really is. I have to break this glass. This is what it's been, because this is what you've allowed. But because I come, right? I rise, I speak, I do something about it. I'm the enemy? that you have become so blinded that you got Jesus over here talking about how you can't see. Forgive them because they don't know. Are you kidding me? Please. He is too kind to you. Too kind. And I say, fine, Jesus. But you've given them time. And still up until this day in my generation where I rise and I speak on behalf of my Father and I do my will and I fulfill and drink my cup because it's been passed to me. I tell you, they've been given time, Jesus. And it's not that they don't know or they don't see, they don't care. They don't care. Because time and time again, we have told them. We have showed them. We have come into this world. We have never harmed them. We have been the light in this darkness. And still, they allow darkness to rule. And still, they punish us, prosecute us, behead us, isolate us. We've become the black sheep, Jesus. We are still in the same predicament. Because of them, not because of us. If it was us, we'd be winning. We'd be on top. We'd be in those seats. But they don't elect us. They don't choose us. They've never chosen us. That is why in the Bible, we are the chosen of God, not of the world. That is why the world gives to its own and not to us. To wonder why we are in these desecrated places. Because look at what world we're in. Look at what master rules. Look at what the people chooses. The people have the power. And look who they've elected. But guess what? Look who God has chosen. And our God is not in this world. So yeah, you won't see me living lavish on the surface, superficial and materialism. No. It is inside of me that's rich. But you only see if you know me. You only see by understanding me. But that's if you get the chance to, because people don't care anymore. They really don't care if you don't look like nothing. If you don't have nothing. They don't care. You gotta literally dress the part. Look the part. That's why you got most of these women looking superficial. You got most of these women with a doctrine about use these niggas. Take their money. Make sure your nails is done. Make sure your hair is done. Make sure your body right. Just for the sake of vanity, just for the sake of benefits, just for the sake of not being lonely, instead of using their integrity, instead of using just their originality. See, the domino effect has fallen. Darkness has fallen. This is what it's become. But I'm too masculine. I know. This is the position I've taken. I've agreed to this. It's okay. I've agreed to take upon this duty, to be on a council, to speak for the world. That is not going to sound all glittery. Hell to the no. But if I was to be not on duty, which is my business, which is something you'll never get to see, you think that I would need to put and exert so much energy? No, I'll be able to relax and live my life. But right now, I'm on duty. Right now, I'm working in my Father's house. I'm doing my Father's business. I'm speaking for the world. I'm speaking for justice, something that you would never know, something that you have never done, something that the people that you've elected, the people you trust in, the people that look like you, the people that you expected to speak of such justice. You can finish it. Has failed to do time and time again. But still you choose not to see. And I say choose because you do see it. Because you freaking hear it, man. You hear the justice that comes from within me. Yeah, you may not see me to be what you expected. What you expect? A man in a suit? A white man? A white woman? What did you expect me to look like? With stars above my head? My goodness, man. This is a physical world right now. It's still firmament. There's a lot of things you don't see in the spirit. But you have to believe. You have to know to see who I am. And there's still firmament. There's still a veil there. You're not able to see my spirit. If there is a crown on my head, you're not able to see it. It's spiritual. If there's a star on my forehead, you cannot see it physically. It is spiritual. We are still in a physical form. He says nothing will be undone until everything is fulfilled. And we know the last thing is to profess and confess and testify the truth. And then it's done. So why do you think I've risen? Why do you think I'm filled with wisdom? This is the end. And it is the end to them. To them, false prophets that had time to rule. Do you remember that? When Jesus said in the last hour, I'm leaving. But the son of destruction is here. He's going to be ruling. But just remember what I said. I'm coming back for you. But feed my sheep. Please. But you got false prophets doing it for you. You relied on false prophets that got fake doctrines and fake degrees that man appointed them to these seats. Like, come on now. Are you really surprised? Are you really surprised when you find out these preachers and pastors are pedophiles? Well, I mean, hello. You're the only one surprised for some reason. Wake up. Because I'm tired of, you people throwing stones at the chosen, God's elected. In other words, the angels of this earth. Because there are demons. Do you understand me? My heart is pure. I really come here in peace. I don't have any vendetta against humanity. I don't have any vendetta against you. As tough as I can be to you, tough love is good for you. I am only here to make sure you understand. You have to wake up. How else am I going to tell you that? How else am I going to show? How is anyone going to show you that? I mean, Jesus himself was here. He was here. Our baby Jesus was here. And look what you did to him. So I'm not surprised that these people don't listen, don't care. I'm not surprised. But it's still natural for me to try. Because it's like there's no way in hell this is happening. That's why my conclusion is what it is. Something ain't right. You're fake. Something's fake here. Something is playing on my, And that's the thing. It's like all the things that I'm concluding could be all true. Because I know at the end of the day, it's up to people like me. So it's like, regardless if you're fake or you're not fake, regardless if you're going to listen or you're not going to listen, it's still up to us. It's still up to us. It will never be up to you. It was never up to you. It's like, I can think, okay, they're going to wake up or they're going to listen. It doesn't really matter anymore. It never really did. It's just the same as God knowing, him saying to you, baby, they were never going to wake up. Or, honey, they were going to crucify you one day. But naturally, you yourself would have never believed that because you naturally, the pureness in you would have been like, no, they're going to wake up. I just got to keep reminding them. I just got to keep talking to them. And then you got God saying again, well, they're discerned. Their eyes are closed. And I'm like, no, they can see though. They'll be able to see me if I just keep trying. So, I mean, I'm right. I'm right in all of my conclusion. But it's just like, as long as I know what I need to do and why I need to do it and how I need to stay awake. Because if it isn't for me, if it wasn't for me, if it wasn't for any of the elect coming here, whether they were prosecuted, whatever, if it wasn't for them, what would humanity be? Do you understand that? Do you understand that so clearly? It is only a few of us that stand up and not just speak for celebrity news or the West Side. No, you got people that do that already. You got the news. You got those people. And they get their rewards. They get paid for it. There are people like me that speak for the whole world, praying for the whole world, the righteous, the justice of it, the things that people that you thought went to school to get these degrees would do. And that is the philosophy, the theory, that just because they have a degree does not make them appointed by God. It does not make them godly. It does not make them called by God. They went to school. They just went to school. Anyone can go to school to get it. Anyone can be a firefighter if they are capable, right? If they go to school. Anyone can be a doctor if they put in that work. It does not mean that God appointed them this doctor. No, you did the work. The only way you know is if God appointed you and God lets you know that. That's it. People need to remember this. So that's why you're not surprised when you got these certain positions that are looked at as highly, and then you're flabbergasted at the fact that certain people that hold this certain position could do such abominable things. If you would have just understood and remembered that just because they're in a certain seat does not mean that God put them there. It just means they went to school for it. To me, that's common sense. But I can understand how you can intertwine the two and be like, well, I passed the test, God, God this, God that, right? Yeah. I get it, because the reason why I see it so clearly is because I've rise to be who I am without degrees and things like that. So it's easy for me to always remember that God appointed me. God is, in me type thing. That's the reason why I'm who I am. Whereas if I just went to school for it, then I went to school for it. And I would hope that God would use me, right? So I get it. I understand it. But that is why it's important to listen to sound counsel. Like, I get it. But God says, you'll know the truth when you hear it. That's it. I can't say what it'll look like, what it'll sound like. You just will know the truth when you hear it. That's it. If the shoe fits, wear it. So now, what more is there to do? What more is there to say? What more? And it's not me saying this to you, per se. It's me, like, really just pleading to God. Because I can do this every day. That's why I'm so rich in the spirit, Like, so that's like someone saying, oh, if you could have made money off of just talking, you'd be so rich. I said, who said I wasn't? They're starting to wake up and see why we're so rich. We don't get our riches in this world. But yeah, I can do this all day, every day. And I'm just now starting to choose to share it on live, So it may seem like, wow, I have so much to say. Well, yeah, I always have. I just kept it to myself because I live alone, and I'll share it whenever, I don't know, I'm called to share it. I feel like I want to share it. But like I said, I opened up this live because there's no reason why such brilliance should be kept inside. I don't have to be outside. I don't have to be on TV. Like, just use what you have. This is your space, right? And that's the thing. Regardless of one person hears it or not, I'm still working in the spirit. I'm still confessing the truth, And even if there was no verse about it, I would have still known that what I speak was true. And that because it's so true, I knew there would have had to been some sort of working beyond what I could see. Because there's no way that I could speak such truth and know such truth and it be such truth and nothing be done. I never believed that it would have took me to go to a person face to face for things to change. I never believed that. I never believed that that was the only way things to change. That I have to have someone actually listen to me physically. That I have to go to City Hall and I have to put in a petition. And I've never believed that was the only way. Why? Because I always believed there was a God. That's it. Meaning I believed in Jesus Christ. I knew someone in the sky. As a kid, you just know that like he's in this heaven. He's in heavens up above. There was something up there that you'd hope and believe that sees you. You just believed. I did not know, right? I didn't have an intimate relationship. I was young. I just believed. And here I am. Now I know. And I always say these things. I say, I know, Father, I know. When he took the fear away from me in 2018, I said, I know, Father. Because I knew it was him. I know. Because I always believed. So it wasn't like, oh my God, there's a God. No, it was like, I know, Father. Thank you. Glory. Because you come to me. I always knew something. I always knew. And you can give up on life. You can. But then you can also keep trying. You can just keep going. And it may not seem like you're going anywhere physically, but I'm talking about in the spirit. You never give up spiritually because your spirit will always be willing. Yeah. You can always still believe regardless of how weak you are. That's it. That's the thing. It's like, yeah, I might have not traveled physically, but I have gone places in the spirit. I may not be able to see all the work that I'm doing physically, but I have been doing work from the beginning of time spiritually. I believe. And I have not been wrong. Because, again, here I am, 31, and I'm still intact. I am still sharp. Regardless of the world, regardless of the city that I'm in, I am not a rat. Regardless of all the things that were set out against me, of all the unfortunate things and curses that have been put upon me, that clearly have become blessings, because it has made me into who I am. It has made me become this knowledgeable person of a world such as this. I understand this world. Did I not come here for that? To understand humanity, to understand you, to be an advocate for you, to be a comforter, but to also remind you. I can be an advocate for you, but there's still some accountability, is there not? Take accountability. I become a sinner too. I understand what this is. Not only that, I'm a Black African American woman in this world. I'm sure we know some sense. I'm sure we're soulful. I'm sure we know the root of this world and how ugly it can be. Even though they try to plaster like they're just this perfection on TV, we know how ugly these people can be. Being an African American woman, being a Black American woman in this world. Because all day, people act like they're this and that. But we know how ugly they can be. We know people can say this and that. No. We've seen you. You may have been nice and polite to these people, but over here, you wicked. And that's the thing. It's like you gain wisdom just for those simple things. You become Cinderella in a house full of people, and everyone else feels like, okay, this queen is just fear. But that one thing you have against her is she wasn't fear to you. But everyone else sees different. But you know the truth. You know the truth. And that's what makes you you. Right? That's what makes you the one. Out of everyone in the world, you see different because the world treated you different. So who's wrong? Is it you or the world? Either way, it's still just what it is. It's you. Out of everyone. So if someone's being chosen, and he says, out of everyone in the world, out of every rose in the garden, out of every lily, out of every maiden, there is only but one that I choose. Wouldn't you think that'd be you? When out of everyone in the world, everyone thinks of this person this way because of how this person treats all of them. But for some reason, this one person treats you differently. Same thing. Out of everyone, it's you. So no matter what sort of depiction, interpretation it is, the message will always be the same. You are the chosen one. Chosen to fall, chosen to rise, chosen to be cursed, and chosen to be blessed. Chosen for something. Chosen to go down in history. Chosen to be the sacrifice. Chosen, chosen, chosen. So don't be surprised when there is a man coming to choose his woman. Don't be surprised if there's a woman coming to choose her man. And who do you think he's choosing? The chosen one. And that's you. Yeah. Really simple, isn't it? So now you read the Bible or any of these books, they're not contradicting. They're just telling their own story in their own way. Just like if my book was in that book, my chapters was in that book, I don't speak like John. I don't speak like Jesus. We don't have the same sort of, let's say, will. We don't have the same, the cup that we drink is different. Like, Jesus went down the way he went down. Like, we're all different, but we all work for the same God. We all work for the same will. We're in the same will. So that's like saying all of our stories have to be the same. All of our encounters, all of what we sound like, look like, have to be, no. And since we don't look the same or talk the same or have the same relationship with God, we're contradicting. When you over here laid up with Tony, and Tony laid up with Lance, and Lance laid up with Carl, please. You got the nerve to try to talk about real warriors in the world, when you over here laid up, not using any strength, insulting real men. He could have if that was the case, he could have gave your strength to somebody else then, if you were never going to use his internal weapons, his internal defense that he's gifted you coming into this world. If that was the case, he would have just gave your morals to someone else if you were never going to use it. Your integrity and all that. Your sense. You don't want to use your sense. We could have gave it to someone that was born with a defect. Please. You're insulting. Why do you think I got to make sure I speak? There is no way. Knowing that growing up from the age of 10 all the way up to I could say all the way up to 17, but let's just say all the way up to 16, I've been punished, kept in isolation, kept away from festivities and holidays, kept in the room, didn't get no presents, nothing, no birthday celebrations, no wonder. You see how everything comes to light, everything aligns, not just in a physical way, but in a spiritual way. Because I could have understood it physically, understood that physically, clearly. I just know too much and they don't like my mouth, but it's still the truth. Spiritually, that God made sure this was going to happen because it was necessary. It was part of the will. Same thing. But my point in all points is, I was hidden, punished, whatever you want to call it, sacrificed, all of it. But you see why. And so I've gotten my own place at 19. You think that I was going to close my mouth? Now, I was going to heal all those years. I healed. But I wasn't going to be quiet about it. And even more now that I have been healed, I'm older, I'm wiser. A lot has happened spiritually since then. You think that I wasn't going to use what I've always been, be who I've always been, though the world has always shown me different. That hurted me. That hurted me. That was the healing, the internal spirit renewing. That was all that. To seeing how family and this and that, it was all prophecy, but you get it. It was real life to me. Me not really choosing to walk away, it was them. I had no choice to. So now that I do it flawlessly and now that I never turn back to them, that ain't my fault. I shouldn't feel shame. Please. So I teach this and I confess it and I testify about it. I didn't think this was a prophecy. I didn't think this was a verse. But long behold, long behold, let the wicked witch tell me she never did. Let the higher principalities tell me they never did, but I'm sure they kept their eye on me. They dang sure remembered these things when I didn't. They dang sure believed in me before I even really knew anything. Yeah, indeed. So to say that I've not evolved, or I'm stuck, or I'm not moving because in society it look a certain way and I'm supposed to have a certain money and have this certain place, and please. So I teach about those things because of who I am and what I embody. That's how I'm so sure of it. Because I've become without any of these things, because it is inside of me. Now let these things be a prophecy. Now let this be written to see I've been confirmed, I'll be reassured. But I always knew. I always knew. So this is the good news. At 31, and honey, I've been knowing this since beginning. I've been knowing this since beginning. I didn't really start testifying until maybe like 24. I made my vow at 24. The fear was gone that same year. And look, we're here. So again, am I supposed to be ashamed because I don't have a degree in society? Because that was supposed to dictate my value. Dictate whether I was going to get married and have successful, prosperous life. Yeah, I know. Because that's the way the system has created it. So I teach about it. I know the pressure. I'm in it. I'm human too. I feel it. But guess what? God did not, he wasn't going to leave me out here. He was going to give me some confirmation that I'm exactly who I need to be. Now, yes, if I acquire a degree, that's a bonus. Yes. But it's to show children, it is to show people, to remind them that it does not make you who you are. All those other things outside of you should be a bonus. That once my man comes, that's a bonus. I'm not going to become a better version or this higher version because he came. No, I've already built myself up. Just the same as a degree. A degree wasn't going to make me knowledgeable. I was already knowledgeable. Let me get a little more. Right? I've been taught by the source. To where now if anyone else teaches me, that's all right. Because at least I know the truth. Whether they're lying or they don't tell the full truth, I've already come with the truth. Because I've been taught by the truth. So it's just a bonus. So I have to testify and testify again and again and again, because you see how detrimental, detrimental it can be if I don't. I know there's people like me, and I'm sure they're out here doing the same thing, but hey, I can't speak for them. I just believe in them. I know they exist. But it's just me, honey. It's just me. And so, yeah, you know, me day and night just coming on and just talking about things, exposing certain things. Yeah, it may sound like something, right? It may look like something, but it's necessary. Do you understand me? And I always say things like, what am I supposed to be doing? It's coming to this moment where it's like, what more else can I say? Clearly I can interpret, so I can say the same message 1,000 times just in a different way. But, you know, because it really is a waiting game. I'm just waiting to be free. I'm waiting for my father to come back. I'm waiting to live, right? But in the meantime, I have to expose this because there's people that don't understand. There's people that really think this is life. They have forgotten. They have forgotten. And not only that, but they will literally turn around, just as they have, and say that I am the devil. Some person that has a spirit like me, and I have the spirit of my father. Now you see how they view Jesus. They see how they view God. Even though they say they love God, even though they say they love God, God said, you don't even know me. So I know that's a lie. Because if you knew me, you would have never crucified Jesus. You would have never persecuted his saints, his chosen. And so you do. And I'm here to testify that it's true because you've done it to me. How can you say you love God when he came in the flesh? Please, please, man. I'm like literally pleading, like, please, please just close your mouth. And that's what I speak. I always say these things. I say, you know, hold your tongue. Because you're speaking in the spiritual courts. You have all this time to speak. Just be quiet. Because what you speak is nonsense. You don't know who you're speaking to. You don't know what you're speaking about. You don't know heavenly things. You don't know spiritually things. You're still speaking worldly to a God that is beyond it. Just like a person can lie, still lying in the face of truth. There's no reason to. Just confess the truth. But again, they'll die in their lies. Just as we'll die for the truth. And that's what we do, don't we? They can crucify me right now, assassinate me, cancel me. If I was a public figure, do you understand me? I know. But, you know, that's just how it goes. I don't have social media. I was conscious enough to know it was not necessary. The best believe if I was to show my face, I'm sure that would get more views, don't you think? Very sad, isn't it? But my point in all points, they crucify people like me. And not just like me with the spirit of me, because there's a lot of people that speak their talk they talk, and walk they walk. What's the problem with me, right? What's the difference? If everybody talks their talk on their platform, but certain people tend to get assassinated, tend to go missing, because their truth is raw. They're exposing the whole dang thing. They ain't gonna talk about just half. They ain't gonna have it, okay? They're not gonna have it, okay? They're gonna talk about everybody, even themselves. That's what I'm gonna say too. Yep. But I'm evolving. I'm not doing the same things I used to do. But I understand why you've done those things. Because I understand. But we're evolving. Right? Let's be better versions. If we're trying to reach this higher version, our dreamlike version, it definitely is far from this. And what this is whoa, it's low vibrational. Not only that, but it keeps you low, doesn't it? For many reasons, whether it's your duty, right? You work in a low vibrational place, or just being among these people, because you have no choice to be, unless you're going to be in an igloo, okay? An igloo. Unless you're going to be in an igloo. And there's this people with their energy. There's these people that's trying to poke at you, trying to hurt you, abuse you, just for the sake of knowing that that's the way to tamper with you, to tamper with your spirit, to mess up your day. You know, you could walk in with a fresh white tea and someone splash some coffee on you and act like it's an accident. Okay? Splash some Kool-Aid on you. Red at that. You know it's gonna stain. You might as well throw it away. Just throw it away. But that's the thing. It's like you have no choice. So on top of wanting to be that higher version, it's like you're stuck here. So I talk about it and I say, Father, like, release me from this body. You know, and to be released from this body, I can go in places. I can go and not be limited, right? So that means I can go outside of this world, period. But I have to be released first. I have to be released, like, zip down this little, you know, this covering, like, whoo, you know, let it fall down and whatnot. But you know, there's so many things. And in all of that, there's a lot of glory, though. So even though this is low vibrational, even though I work in a low vibrational world, like, you know, even though I'm captive, well, I don't want to say captive, but even though I'm bound to a lower vibrational world, there's a lot of glory. But understandably, there's a lot of glory because of who I am. There's a lot of glory because of my understanding of who I am, and because I still am who I am. Now, if I wasn't, they would have got me. They would have swallowed me up. They would have, okay? I would have drowned. But I stay afloat, right? I still remember who I am. I'm still trying to keep awake, just like I'm doing now. Like, I could easily just occupy myself with things that are temporary, but I'm tired of it, right? I can only eat so much cheesecake until I'm, like, bloated and fat, halfway there. You know what I mean? It's just like, I gotta tell myself to wake up. You know, even if it's something that I wouldn't preferably do, as I talk about all the time, like, I'm sure anyone in their right mind would rather just relax, take time, you know, be with family, laugh, be in joy, live. But you're not understanding. It's like you can remember today and forget tomorrow. And I'm just like, how? How can you forget if you're listening to me? How can you forget if you know me? This is what I have to do. This is the only hope. This is the only way we can get out of this world. This is the only way things will be fulfilled. This is the only way things could change. I have to talk about it. So I expose your leaders and I say, they had the chance. You've elected these people. They're going at war with each other. Why do I have to tell you the obvious? But I guess you keep thinking that, well, if I were just this person, I would be in those seats. But you're the same ones that know the scriptures and know that God said he's not even in those places. He's in the leastest places. The leastest place that you would never even think. But you have to believe. It's more on you and what you choose to do. Do you choose to know, to believe? Choose to, trust in what you know rather than what you see? That's up to you. And clearly, many have trusted in what they see, knowing that God has told them not to trust what they see. And I'm here in this generation telling you who I am, showing you who I am, even though you don't see who I am and you still don't believe. Even though you can see with your eyes that these leaders in these seats are not showing you nothing. Let me say this. Even if in your eyes, you see these leaders sitting in these leadership roles, but you know they're not doing anything that's leadership. Any sort of leadership in that. Case closed. Like, there's nothing else to say. Because it's right in your face. I'm just reminding you of what you already know, what you already see. But if you choose not to accept it, if you choose not to accept me, then what more can I do, Father? Please, come. Come, run, ooh, it's just, I'm not going to go crazy. I never have. But my God, a person can go crazy. So I don't fault anybody. I don't. Because sometimes I'll be thinking like, dang, I'm real sharp. I mean, I would have a reason to be. Knowing such sense, knowing the truth of the world when most people are oblivious. That would literally drive you crazy, not only, but it would be misery. It's a hell for you. And I don't need a movie to tell me who I am or to, it's comforting. It is to watch a movie that reminds me of me or a story. It's comforting, but I don't need that. I just need to be free, like, please. Because after the movie is done, I'm still here. There's only but so much comfort. It's like in songs, who can comfort me? Whoa, because the wound is deep. It's like, I just want to be free. There's nothing that can truly comfort you. Everything else is temporary. If it's just not the real thing. And we're all doing this to be reunited again. So it's just like, if it ain't us reunited, I don't want to hear it. But thank you. Thank you for the comfort. Thank you for the movie. Thank you for the story. Thank you for the prophecy. Thank you for the reminder. Thank you for the sign. But can you come? Please. Are you here? I'm not yelling, but So I can talk all day. But I gotta remember I'm flesh. So I have fleshly duties. Oh, and I'm a slave too, so I have slave duties. So that's the thing. It's like I have to make time for both. And at the end of the day, that's just what I choose to do, right? But it's not just what I choose, it's what I have to do. But just to say that is to say, if it's not you, then it's not you. It doesn't have to be. But all I ask is don't turn around and hate me. Before you do, please, see me for who I am. Yeah, I know it may sound tough. It may sound a little negative or mean, but it's the truth. I'm only telling the truth. Don't hate me. Because I'm exposing all of us. Don't hate me. You've hated us. Just stop, please. Don't hate me. Because I'm not God. That's my Father. But you already know the truth that if you hate the things that's in me, if I'm exposing the wicked deeds, and you hate me for those things, you're going to hate him then. Do you understand that? Do you understand that God is a righteous God? Do you understand that he's a fear God? He's the one that comes to set things straight, to, be justice in the world. He's coming to, take down these wicked rulers, and you're defending them. Every time you assassinate us, every time you send us to prison, every time you close your door to us, every time you make us the black sheep in the family, and you treat us the way you do. And I understand it's a prophecy, so it's going to happen, it's going to keep happening. But why did it have to happen? Because of you, what you choose to do. It's not like God made you this prophecy villain. It's like you have a choice. He's seen it before it happened, right? So it's like he's just foretelling what's already happened. That's why it's like when one of the disciples was like, oh, I will never deny you. And Jesus is like, listen, I already see, he already seen it. God already seen it. You're going to deny me 3 times. It's not that God put it in your heart. It's that you just did. And I'm just I'm just reminding you that you have, because I've already seen it. You understand me? So that's another thing. It's like every one of us can be good or bad. We have a decision. And sometimes it's not easy to be good, sometimes it's not easy to be bad. Like, I get it. It's weird. I know. It's almost like the flesh is against the spirit, and spirit. It's a lot of things that you can try to, try to work around. But regardless, let's not even dig that hole. My point is that we got to start thinking. We need to start taking our time with things. Like, if we're starting to feel like the spirit of evil, the spirit of envy and all those things, take a step back and be like, dang, okay. Because sometimes we don't bite our tongue. We just say it because we're not thinking. We may talk ugly to someone. We all done it. Or put our hands on someone because we're not practicing self-control. We're not practicing self. It's like we're a beast, right? You got to tame the flesh. I'm eating this cheesecake. I'm getting thick. And it's like, no, it needs to be disciplined. And it's like, who's going to win? I'm just saying. It's just what has to be done. I don't think we need to worry too much about why. This is just what it is. We're living in a body that has needs. So we have to tend to it just as well as we have to tend to ourselves inside. Remember, the body is running. I'm a spirit, but you can't see the spirit in a scan. You can only see the flesh, the heart, the organs. So I can see it too. Right? To where it's like, I don't even see my spirit anymore. I see more of the flesh. But the point is that since I do see the flesh, I see how I need to tend to it. I see how it's running. The heart's beating, that like it's just doing its own thing. Well, it's its own beast. You understand me? And then there's me. And over here crying inside. Let me free. I'm over here. I'm still here. That's why when you hear someone say, I'm more than the flesh, I'm more than my color, I am more than all of these things. I exist outside of this body. So I would have said I need to write a book, but this is the book. Because I ain't about to write it. Someone use my little videos and write the book for me. It's already written. No, but really it is written in the spirit. But physically, just copy and paste. And indent, use the Grammarly, use that. But that's it. Like, because there's so much. It's so much. But at the same time, I always come back to this because this is the only thing that's real. I had to knock on this fake wood because this ain't even real. I mean, I would hope it would be. I hope. But but it's not. You know what I mean? Like, you would think that it's real, but then you find fake wood. Polywood. Mind you, I'm sober. Okay? That's another thing. Oh, let me reintroduce myself. I always do, actually. So it's not like I need to. But just the obvious, I'm sober. Always been sober. Well, been sober consistently since I was 24. So I've been sober. It's just my personality. But just to say that was to say, give a sister some grace. Well, I don't really know how you would need to, but just in that equation, just give some people grace because they're sober. They're sober. Ugh. There we go. Sober. They're sober. I can't even say it. I was gonna say sober. Herbert. I don't say sober. My tongue is tired. Who would have thought? We're sober. Okay, I can't even say it. I try to say it quick. We're so sober. Yeah, sober. We're sober. We're sober. Okay. I gotta get it right, guys. So, yeah, just give us some grace because some of us are sober. Okay? Yes. And what do you want from us? You know what I mean? Like, we're not choosing to indulge in certain things that will take up our consciousness. Nope, we don't. So this is what real life is. This is what living sober would be like. I'm always like, what are you doing, guys? You want to talk? Y'all want to play games? Like, let's talk about stuff. Let's talk about real life, you know. That's a sober mind, okay? So please remember. And what's so sad is that some people have been on drugs for so long that it's even messed up their mind. So there's that. And we know somebody that knows somebody. Might even be our mom or our dad. They've taken drugs back in the day. Crack, if anything, right? And so they just never been the same. Yeah. And this is where I would need to end the live, but you know. So here's the conclusion. I think the conclusion was at the beginning of the I made a conclusion at the beginning of this live. So the conclusion of this whole thing was the conclusion of this whole thing. That this is normal. Tell your friends to tell your friends, however you need to tell them, but this is normal. I made a live about that just alone. You know, normal my butt. That was the title. Normal my butt. Because it's not normal to live without the Creator. Hello. It's normal, it's normal to be like this. Okay? It's all right. It's all right. See, the problem is you see what it is the way the world has become, right? And its leadership and its trends and its societal norms, its customs, its traditions. It has become this sort of lineage passed down. That's what it's become. Whereas I'm looked at as an outcast. But Tony on Tony is all right. Okay, all right. Anyway, but I will be viewed as an outcast, right? Where I'm just here to tell you, long story short, real men love me, okay? These are for the Susies out here. Now, there might not be many real men out here, but best believe, honey. While you're with Tony that loves Tony, I'll be with a warrior. God sent. You get that? While you're with Tony and Tony's with Carl, I'm going to be with a warrior that knows what he wants, that knows who he is, that loves me. Not only loves me, but likes me. Not only likes me, but adores me. Not only adores me, but admires me. Amen. Not only that, but would choose me out of any world. Not only that, but would choose me out of anyone. Again and again and again and again and again. And I'll leave it there.